Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? We're back for the late show. Good to see you all. I want to show you this. Sean sent this in. Very interesting. It doesn't happen that often. Well, sort of. Yeah, let me show you this in a second, but let me say hello to everyone. Hey, Annika, how are you? Marilyn, Diane, Mr. Dan Yee. I hate mornings. Is not feeling great. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better soon. DJ, Marilyn, who else is here? Mamma Mia, Rachel. Put your hands up if you're here. Yes, it's a Friday afternoon here, so pretty quiet afternoon actually. By the way, just as we left the show, let me see if I can get this. My friend LMS sent in a donation, and she sent in a very small message. She just said, "Love heart, love heart, love heart. Thank you." So no, thank you. It's been very interesting to hear what's going on in your side of the world, even though it's very, very tragic and seems like it's going to be a long recovery, unfortunately. Good to see you all, Mr. Dan Yee. All right, let's watch this and tell me what you think.
To breaking news now, and police have shot a man who allegedly confronted them with a weapon outside a home in Melbourne's north. Live to Isabel Quinlan, who is at the scene for us. They were called after reports of a stabbing.
That's right, Sophie. It all unfolded around 10 to 7 this morning here in Hillside, northwest of Melbourne. It's understood when police arrived at a property here, they found a man on the front lawn with critical injuries. They then tried to perform CPR, but unfortunately he couldn't be saved. They were then confronted with a man who was armed with an edged weapon. They tried to negotiate with him, but he advanced towards them, and that is when officers fired a shot, hitting him in the lower leg. He was then transported to the Royal Melbourne Hospital under police guard in a critical but stable condition. There was also a female who was witness to this event, and she was taken to hospital as well under precaution. Now, police believe that there's no other risk here in the community, as it's believed that the pair are known to each other. We have spoken to family members of the victim. It's understood that the man was the stepfather to the son, and he was the one that has lunged forward with the knife. Sophie, it's still an unfolding situation. The family said that they are extremely overwhelmed with what has happened this morning.
So there you go, courtesy of 9 News Australia. And very odd. You caught a little bit right at the end there. It said it was the stepson had killed the father, stepfather, and then he tried to lunge at police with a bladed article, and police have shot him to disable him in the leg. He is now taken to hospital along with a female. I'm suspecting that's probably his mother, and she is in hospital as she was a witness to the entire thing. What a awful situation at 6:50 in the morning. 6 a.m. in the morning. Who shoots someone at 6 a.m. on a Friday? It's Friday. Be happy. You get to have beers after 4 o'clock. It's all good. I don't know if this is a mental health episode or interpersonal family relations or something like that. But I'm going to show you, see if I can find an article for you here. They say police have shot a man after he allegedly stabbed and killed another man in Melbourne's northwest. Emergency services were called to a Chris Court home in Hillside about 6:50 a.m. on Friday, following reports a man had been stabbed. He was found on the front lawn of the home with critical injuries when police arrived on scene. Officers attempted CPR, but the man died at the scene. Police say they were then confronted by a man armed with an edged weapon. God, my voice. We need to get over this hay fever. Despite negotiation attempts, the man moved forward. The officers then shot him, according to police. The man was struck in the lower body and taken to hospital under police guard. he is in a critical but stable condition. The woman from the home was also taken to hospital as a precaution. She's a witness. They're saying it is believed those involved are known to each other, and police are not looking for anyone else in relation to the incident. Homicide squad detectives are set to investigate the death of the man, who is yet to be formally identified. Police have urged anyone with information to come forward, and this is interesting. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas is set to address the media this afternoon. So let me see if it's on the VicPol website. Hold on. Are they okay? No, it just happened like an hour ago. Hold on, everyone. Did they go live? Let's have a look. Okay, I might have to check somewhere else. Hold on. Because they normally like to do them about 1 or 2 o'clock. Let's see if it's on this one. Let's check here. Video. Live. Yeah, I'm just going to check the live channel and see if they've already done it. Oh, that's very annoying. So it seems to be there's been a change to the ABC channel. You used to be able to scrub through the live stream and like jump back to different things. You cannot do that anymore. It's turned off now. That is effing annoying. Yeah, you can't do it no more. Okay, that's very annoying. Yeah, you used to be able to like grab the bar and go back and see if they'd already done an interview or whatever, but now you cannot. I don't see that press conference. Like when we go to VicPol, normally like they are here, like they had one here and they've had others, but I don't see one from today, even though they're supposed to be doing a press conference, unless it hasn't been done yet. But you would have thought, being a Friday afternoon, they'd already want to do it. He's set to, okay, hold on. Let me Google Dean Thomas and see if what time he's jumping on. It just says Detective Inspector Dean Thomas is set to address the media in the afternoon. Thanks for that. Thanks for giving us a specific time. I'm going to keep checking back, and if they go live, I'll bring it to you. But right now, they haven't posted anything. The only thing they posted was this. They did do an update on here, but it's not a video update. And then if you go to this link, it's just this one, just a copy paste of what they said earlier. Media unit. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can contact the VicPol media unit. Because if I can contact them and ask them what time they're going to jump on. Okay, how do you contact them? I don't want an about page. I want a contact. All right, hold on. Information. Media questions and requests. Okay. Hello. All right, sorry about the quietness. I just wanted to type this out. Inspector. Yep. All right. We'll see if we get a reply to that and see if they tell us what time the detective's going to jump on this afternoon. Hey guys, how are you? Is Casper here? Hey Casper. G'day, mate. How are you? Hey, Reeby's here. Hey, Reeby. Hey, Sienna. And RX Girl and Laura T. Good to see you all. Sorry about the blank air. I want to know what time they're going to do this press conference, because if we can catch it live, I'd like to do that. Yeah, that was actually a really good email for me on the spot. It was a pretty professional email. Okay. Let's see what else we have. What? What? No, you can't have any food. All right, let's get you another crime from today before my cat bites my leg. All right. What else we got on my list? All right, let's talk about this actually. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about a Utah woman who was arrested on Wednesday for the killing of her husband, who vanished in September and remains unaccounted for. I'm going to bring you this. Here. They're saying woman admits she murdered her husband, according to police. They're looking for this man here, Matthew Johnson, who went missing in September. There's a photo. And they're saying police have arrested the wife of Matthew, a man who was reported missing in September. On Wednesday, October 2nd, the Cottonwood Heights Police Department arrested Johnson's wife, 41-year-old Jennifer Gledhill, on suspicion of murder. According to a probable cause statement, she told a confidential informant that she killed and then buried her husband in a shallow grave. The probable cause statement also said police found evidence to suggest that she shot Johnson in the head in the home's master bedroom while he slept. Johnson was initially reported missing by Gledhill on September 20, according to the Cottonwood Heights police. Police said since September 21st, Johnson's phone would go to voicemail, and he had no contact with anyone, including his own children. Along with this, he never returned to work or left any evidence suggesting that he was alive. Efforts to find him were unsuccessful until Monday, September 30, when police found Johnson's truck a few blocks from his home. The investigation has revealed that witnesses reported Gledhill and Johnson were arguing around that September 20 day before he went missing. Based on the evidence, police believe that Johnson is deceased. So let's try and find out more. Let me put this in the thing so we can show you his photo. And then let me find Matthew Johnson. Yeah. Let's see if we can find some court documents for this. Okay. Let me see. All right. Let's go to K-E-Y-E. Or Key, if they want to call it that. Is that the one we're already on? Hold on. No, we're on KSL. Your news stations all have the same friggin' letters. This is CBS Austin. All right, there we go. There's a photo of the man. This is pretty brutal. So if you believe the informant, the confidential informant, sometime during that September 20, while he was sleeping, she pulled a firearm and shot him in the head, dragged his body out of their home, put it in a vehicle, drove him somewhere, and buried him in a shallow grave, returning to the property, dumping the car a few streets away, and then acting like he ran away. What kind of woman is this? Jennifer Gledhill. Let me see if I can find a photo of her. Yes, I can. I can do that for you. Here is her being arrested. in Salt Lake County Jail on Wednesday for murder and obstruction of justice after her husband vanished. I think we can get a better photo. There she is. Very sad. It looks like they leave behind 3 children, 3 young little kids. How awful. It's not these idiots who suffer like her. It's these ones, right? It's the little kids. They're going to have to grow up probably with no mom. Dad's been killed in a horrific crime. And these little ones are going to have their entire life turned upside down because of her selfish actions. I mean, there's a thing. We have this really cool thing in society. It's like brand new. I heard about it. It's going to be brought in soon. And, I shouldn't be telling you this. It really is a secret. But there's this secret process you can go through. And it means you can walk away from situations. It's called divorce. Don't tell anyone. You got to keep it a secret. But there is a such thing as separation and divorce. Like, I mean, freaky stuff, man. Brand new, cutting edge technology. Just we see so many of these cases where if you're unhappy in your marriage, just walk the F away. Walk away. Co-parent your children like grown-ups and go, I don't know, go sleep with other people or something. I don't know what you want to do. But doesn't need to end in murder. And that works both ways, male and female. Everyone's got to learn that just because you're married does not make your significant other an item that you can just manipulate or do whatever you want with. They're still a human. Muffin, you don't know anything about marriage. I don't know why you're talking about this. Huh? Come on, you want to chime in? What do you know about this subject? Nothing? No, you're just mad because your sister's under the desk? I think he's mad because his sister's like right at my feet here. Yeah, she's allowed to sleep there, buddy. It's okay. He gets really jealous over his dad. He's like, oh, it's my dad. Yeah, so it says here, authorities said on Monday the case was suspicious after his truck was found just a few blocks from his home. He was reported missing on September 23rd after he failed to show up for work with the Utah National Guard. So he was a service guy. That's, he deserves a lot of respect. They say the affidavit says Johnson was shot while on the mattress inside the master bedroom of their home in Cottonwood Heights. Jennifer told the informant that she had removed the body of Johnson and had relocated his remains to a shallow grave at an undisclosed location. She then told the informant she had been removing items from the home and destroying them to cover up the crime. Several search warrants have been obtained and served on electronic devices, which have led investigators to believe the remains of Johnson are at the same undisclosed location as described by the informant. Officers reported in the affidavit there was also evidence of a significant cleanup, which included the walls being bleached. So she bleached the walls to get rid of blood evidence. Police say that the phone records show that a new mattress was ordered on September 24 and arrived at their home 2 days later. So she replaced the mattress after she shot her husband in it. Fantastic. Officers asked for no bail to be issued, saying they believe she would be further tampering with evidence or witnesses or remove critical evidence to the case, and that she was a flight risk. According to court documents seen by KSL, Gledhill had filed for divorce from Johnson in July. Oh, so she did know the word divorce. Okay. She then filed a petition for a temporary protective order in August. Okay. The outlet reported that the 3rd District Commissioner, Russell Minas, said the protective order was not warranted and that no abuse had occurred. So was she trying to abuse the justice system to get her way? Maybe. She submitted videos claiming a need for the order, but the ruling stated the videos portrayed her as equally confrontational. So she's one of those people. Yes. All right. It says here, police confirmed to the outlet that they had also visited the couple's home for civil matters previously. The couple shared 2 sons and a daughter aged 11, 7, and 5. The Cottonwood Heights Police Department said, "We want to express our heartfelt sympathy to the family, especially the Johnson children. These unfortunate tragedies tear apart the fabric of our families." Yes, I agree. That's the people who are going to suffer. It's not the anyone else. All right, that's what they're saying. Okay, very strange. Very strange. Someone just sent me an email and they're like, "Yes, that's how you do that." And I'm like, "Do you think I would have sent you the email if I, if it worked?" Like I was asking for a tracking link and I'm like, they gave me a tracking number, but it didn't work with what they said it was posted by. And I was like, why would I email you if I can't use the tracking link? Why would I be like, asking this question? And they just went, "Yes, oh yeah, it works." And I'm like, "You sure about that?" I'm sure I checked on this earlier. Why would I do that? I think sometimes these customer service people don't. Yeah, it just said I tried it now and it said we could not find that tracking number in our system. So yeah, thanks for that customer service telling me stuff that's not true. All right, yeah, so she's wealthy apparently. A wealthy Utah mother shot her serviceman husband dead as he slept at their $1 million home. You know, the Daily Mail has a real fascination with telling people how much people's property cost. Like, what does that matter? Oh, he was shot dead in a $1 friggin' crack den. He was he was shot dead in a halfway home. He was shot dead under a bridge. Like, did he own the bridge? No, but we got to tell you about it. It's worth $2 million. Um, it's an odd thing to have a fascination about. Like, you can just say that she's rich. All right. They said detectives probing the disappearance of Johnson, a member of the United States Military Special Operations Group, found a large blood stain at the family's stunning $967,000 home in Cottonwood Heights, which is a suburb of Salt Lake City. You know what's funny? Here we go. More numbers of homes. Oh, it was almost $1 million. In Australia, if you had $967,000 and you tried to buy a home in Melbourne, you'd probably get one of the shittiest homes in Melbourne. Like homes here are like 1.4 million, 1.3 million, $2 million. 900,000 is like just a typical family home in like the far, far suburbs, like 40 minutes outside of the city, that type of thing. But I'm guessing in this area you get like a McMansion for that type of money. Let's see. Let's have a look. Where did they live? Yeah, I'll open that. Where was the street? Cottonwood Heights. Okay. Let's go to Cottonwood Heights. A city in Utah. All right. There are a lot of homes down here though. Look at this. What was the address? We do have the address. Guys, give me 1 second. These cats. Hold on. All right, there we go. I got the cat some food. STL card says, yes, hope you're good. I hope you're good too. All right, Ruby says, thanks for everyone's support. I'm so happy to finally have a date for surgery. I've been on the urgent list, but the list is so long in my hometown. Well, I hope that happens quick, my friend. I hope so. Yeah, they're being crazy today. Yes, prayers all go well for Ruby. All right, let's see. Where is this street location? And then I'm going to have to refresh this police thing from earlier. Yeah, there's nothing there right now. Oh, actually, no, that was a while ago. I was like, oh, they're live. No, that was in 2019. All right, where is this address? I want to have a look at the home. Since we're going to do the Daily Mail thing of looking at people's homes. All right, Cottonwoods Heights. Trying to see if they give us like an actual street. Yeah, the Glepherd Daily or whatever this is. They say here. Let's blow this up for you. They say on or around September 28, 2024, Cotton Heights Police Department was in contact with a confidential informant. Yep, and they told them all that information. Oh, here. Gledhill was arrested at 5:22 p.m. Wednesday for investigation of first-degree murder, felony, obstruction of justice, capital first-degree felony conduct, a second-degree felony. And it says if the case goes to trial, it'll be determined by county attorney's office. She was booked into the Salt Lake City County jail system and was ordered to be held without bond. So she ain't got no bond. She ain't got no bond. They're not giving her any bond. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's the house right here. What are we talking about, Ping? You didn't even have to go to a different page. You could have just scrolled down the article. There you go. I mean, it's a very typical, like, the homes you see in American movies where, like, the mom and dad and the 2.5 kids, they live in this home. Did you guys ever watch movies as young people and you're like, does everyone live in $1 million home like this in America? Like, that's what we thought when we were children in Australia. We were like, does every American family live in a 2-story, 6-bedroom freaking home with like a giant wood door? Because it's not a common thing here in Australia. Most people down here live in quite small 2-bedroom homes, that type of thing. Although there are bigger ones that people live in, but they're uh, not like this. This is not like what we would consider a typical house here. Although they're starting to become more common, like these giant builds that people are doing. It says here that's it. I think actually that's it. Let me see if I can find anything about her husband, Matthew Johnson. All right. Let's see if we can. Who keeps emailing me? All right. Let's go to Fox News in Utah. And it will not play the video, will you? Oh, no. Yes, no. I think it has a swirly thing. It's not going to play for us. That's all right. I can find it through their YouTube. Give me 1 second and I will find it for you. All right. There we go. Had a feeling I could find it on the YouTube.
Arrested 41-year-old Jennifer Gledhill Wednesday night on suspicion of murdering her husband, Matthew Johnson. Johnson was reported missing on September 23rd when he didn't show up for work at his Utah National Guard base.
He's been active in the military for the last 19 years.
Cottonwood Heights police say his wife, Jennifer Gledhill, came to the department on the 24th to report an accident between her and Johnson. 4 days later, they said, a confidential informant told investigators Gledhill admitted shooting Johnson while he slept in their bedroom. Police say Johnson was last seen less than a mile from his neighborhood in northeast Cottonwood Heights. Police said the informant told them Gledhill said she buried Johnson in a shallow grave at an undisclosed location and that she'd been destroying items to cover up the crime. Police said they searched the home and found a large bloodstain under the bed frame. Police say they have not found Johnson's body.
We've had over 20 active warrants that we've been seeking for, geolocation or cell phones or what we can find that would give us electronic evidence till we can start having a better picture of where we might find the deceased.
Matthew Miller, public affairs officer for the 19th Special Forces Group, worked with Johnson. He says this loss hits hard for he and his team.
It's been hard to accept the loss of such an important teammate. He was well liked. He was the consummate quiet professional, which is what we refer to because Special Forces operators, they're not the ones in the spotlight doing things for accolades and glory. They're the ones that are doing the hard work day to day, and that's what he has done for the last 16 years.
These cases don't happen often in the quiet area of Cottonwood Heights.
It's pretty shocking. This is new to our community that actually ended in a homicide.
In Cottonwood.
So I find it quite interesting, this case. Do you think this one is a reverse case of like DV? So she tried to claim to the court that she was an abused woman. The court turned around and said, your evidence actually shows that you're 50% of the problem and the aggressor. So they actually saw in the footage that she was part of the issue. She wasn't like some scared woman cowering in a corner. She was actually contributing to the violence. And they denied her request for a AVO. And I find that very interesting because she's the one who ended up shooting her husband, not him. I mean, that just goes to show you who exactly was the aggressor in this particular situation. Because I have a feeling she probably thought that it's going to be like the movies, right? She's going to shoot her husband. They'll eventually find him. They'll figure out it's her. She'll go to jail. And then she'll go to court and she'll say, but I was an abused lady. He beat me up and, tried to financially control me or whatever. It sounds like her claims of abuse may have been a fallacy. Yeah, I don't think that's what was going on, though. I think she was part of the exchange. Like, the way they described it was she was 50% of the issue. It was not him just, laying into her and like her constantly being the victim. She was part of the domestic disturbances. Like she was a part of it, not a victim. That's why they didn't give her the DV. Otherwise, she probably would have got it. Because something here just does not make a lot of sense. The fact that she got denied that, then she's the one who ended up shooting the husband. Yeah, and he's a special forces guy. Like he works with the guard. Dude's probably never home. Guy's probably never home. He's probably always on service. Says here, a wealthy Utah mother shot her serviceman husband dead as they slept at their $1 million home and then dumped his body in a shallow grave. I don't know. Let's see what else we can find. Here. You can actually see them escorting her into the police vehicle in this one right here. Jennifer Gledhill. Let me see if there's anything else here. Well, 1 hour ago here, actually.
Documents revealed the events leading up to the arrest of a Cottonwood Heights woman accused of shooting and killing her husband. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 5. I'm Heidi Hatch.
And I'm Mark Cabell. Kristen McPeak has been following the story for us today, and she joins us live from Cottonwood Heights with what's in those documents. What do they tell us, Kristen?
Well, hey, we're at the police station now. Earlier, we were in that neighborhood where the family lived, and neighbors, understandably emotional. Now, I've been going through the documents today. This is the affidavit, a probable cause, and it says that Jennifer Gledhill told a person who has been unidentified in this case that she shot and killed her husband and buried him in a shallow grave.
People are fairly shocked. You know, this is not a common everyday occurrence in Cottonwood Heights.
A quiet Cottonwood Heights neighborhood grieving. Police say 51-year-old Matthew Johnson was last seen in late September. Reports state a confidential person reported to police that his wife, Jennifer Gledhill, said she shot and killed her husband while he slept in the master bedroom. Police have not found his remains.
We don't have a specific area now. So, you know, all 360 degrees from her house, she had a little bit of a head start. We're not sure what direction it's going to go from here.
The couple has 3 kids who are now with other family members.
It is known the couple has been considering divorce.
Records show a timeline of events leading up to the disappearance of Johnson. In July of this year, Gledhill filed for divorce. Later in August, Gledhill filed for a protective order against Johnson, which was granted. On September 16th, the protective order was dismissed after it was reported Gledhill failed to prove abuse. Johnson was last seen on September 20th.
Our heart goes out to the family and neighbors.
And Johnson worked with the Utah National Guard. He was in the military for 19 years. We have more details about this case and the timeline leading up to it on our website, KUTV.com. Live in Cottonwood Heights, Kristen McPeak, KUTV 2 News.
She got pregnant first. Said we all should.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 shocking crimes that inspired Law & Order SVU.
I didn't see anything.
Well, you were with Caleb and Misha before it happened. You were with Caleb at the nightclub.
So I must have been in the ladies' room when it happened.
For this list, we're looking at episodes of this long-running police pursuit.
The ABC 4 News at 6.
I got too many tabs open. Hold on, guys. I have far too many tabs open in my life. Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to find something for you. Okay. There we go. Sorry, you guys don't have to watch Miss Mojo, whatever that is. Yeah, it definitely sounds like this has been going on for at least 6 months, maybe a little longer. It sounds like she was like, how can I commit the perfect murder? One of the easy ways is try and leave a breadcrumb trail of abuse allegations so that when you actually kill the guy, he looks like it wasn't done on purpose, right? Yeah, you guys should see my computer, like where I get all the stories from. They're all about this big because we just have so much stuff open for the show. We go through about, I don't know, 40, 50 tabs a show. So I need a bigger screen. I need one that's like the size of the wall so I can have more tabs. Oops, don't knock the drink bottle over. Okay, I don't know. What are we doing? 72. Are we playing a counting game? 68. 940 million. I don't know what this game is. Rachel says it sure seems that way, that she was mad she wasn't getting what she wanted in the divorce. Maybe. Annika says, I can't imagine digging a grave. I can't imagine you'd be dumb enough to admit it to someone. Like, she admitted it to a confidential informant. Like, what the hell is that? You mean like a friend of hers that now went to the police and went, I think she killed someone. We share a birthday. Okay. Oh, years they were born. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's that story. I hope we find out more about the schematics about what happened leading up to his death, and I hope they find him. I really do, because they must have an idea. If they've got this confidential informant, they've got to have sort of a rough idea of where he might be. Actually, you guys want to see a weird story? Let's go here. Murder investigation launched after Australian woman died following late night lawnmower incident as revelations emerge about her husband. Hold on. What is this? Police cam? Crime scene investigation? There's no audio, right? No. Something Queensland Police up in the corner. This is just the property it happened at? What a beautiful property. Uh, Is it supposed to deliberately look like a cross? Do you guys see that? It looks like the Church of Jesus. It's the Church of Jesus. And this is the lawnmower supposedly that killed her. Okay, let's have a look. I've not heard this one. They say Frances Crawford was found dead on July 30. Police believe she was murdered. Police have launched a homicide investigation after a woman died in a lawnmower incident, with detectives confirming her husband had been messaging a string of women around the world on dating apps. Frances Crawford, 49, was found dead at her Upper Lockyer Valley home in southeast Queensland in the early hours of July 30 after police received reports she had been critically injured by a ride-on mower. Oh, yeah. We did this story back in the day. That's right. We did this one when it happened. I know this one now. Do you remember we were saying, like, how do you die in a lawnmower at night? Like, that's what we kept saying on the show. We're like, that's so weird. Like, how does that work? I remember this now when it happened. They said, however, police confirmed days later that the mother of three's death was being treated as suspicious. According to Queensland Police Detective Superintendent George Marchesini held a press conference on Friday morning and confirmed they had launched a homicide investigation. Okay, let's see if we can get the press conference. Let's see if I can grab that press conference from somewhere. Frances Crawford. All right. Past 24 hours. Might have to take it from here.
By talking about an incident that occurred back on the 30th of July, 2024. At approximately 3:37 a.m. of that day, emergency services were called to a property and address at Upper Lockyer Valley. Upon attendance at that address, the response was in regards to an incident involving a ride-on lawnmower. Emergency services attended that address and located 49-year-old Frances Elizabeth Crawford. She was located deceased and located at the bottom of the retaining wall at the rear of the premises. Following extensive investigations, police and investigators has since deemed her death, and at the time deemed the death as suspicious. An investigation was commenced. We now are alleging and believe that Mrs. Crawford, Frances, was murdered. Investigations have been underway by detectives from the Crime and Intelligence Command's Homicide Investigation Group and also detectives from the Gatton Criminal Investigations Branch. At this stage, forensic testing and also analysis as to how Frances came to be located at the bottom of that retaining wall remains subject to investigation. A man who located Frances has been spoken to by police and has also assisted police with inquiries since the date that this occurred. We can say that the man and the woman are known to each other. The purpose of today is to appeal for public assistance as investigations continue into the circumstances of Frances' death. We are asking anybody and anyone with information to please come forward and speak with detectives that are investigating this matter. We're confident there are people that are out there that have vital information that are able to contribute for us solving this matter. I wish to remind the public, it doesn't matter how small or insignificant you feel that information may be, any possible lead that will come to the attention of detectives may be that vital clue that will break the case open. We're particularly interested in speaking with people who knew of Frances and Robert Crawford and their personal circumstances, including their marriage. We believe there were women that were involved in relationships with Mr. Crawford who may have information about Frances that will assist with this investigation. Mr. Crawford may have met these women on dating applications and through his personal and professional life. We can say that Mr. Crawford has connected with women nationally and internationally, specifically Italy, United States of America, Papua New Guinea, Guam, Afghanistan, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, and nationally in Western Australia, Australian Capital Territory, Northern Territory, New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. So investigations are continuing, and as I've stated before, appealing to the public with any information that can assist in this particular matter.
So there you go. That was very interesting that she was found at the bottom of a retaining wall. It sounds very strange. Yeah, busy guy had a woman in almost every country around the world, and at least 80% of Australia too. This guy, we're on the flip side of this one now. The last one was a woman that killed her husband. This one seems like a guy who killed his wife in one of the most horrific ways, to kill her with a lawnmower. Like, how can you do such a thing? That is really tragic and very sad for everyone who knew her and loved her. To be killed with a lawnmower. Hold on, guys. All right. That's the other story. Yeah, let me search a little bit more about her name. Frances Crawford. 5 hours ago. Okay. Here's a photo of her here, by the way. She was a psychologist at Quality Life Psychology Services in Toowoomba in Queensland, and they believe she died in a ride-on lawnmower incident west of Brisbane. Yeah, I remember when we reported on this, and we had no idea why it happened. They said forensic testing about how she got there was underway, and a crucial part of the investigation, the mower was found near her body. Her husband, Robert, was at the property the night Frances died and has been helping police since her death. Okay. He said Mr. Crawford was believed to have been the last person to see her alive on the evening of July 30 and was connected to women both around Australia and overseas. We believe there are women involved in relationships with Mr. Crawford who may have information about Frances that will assist with the investigation. I know what they're looking for. They want those women to come forward and say that like he was going to leave his wife for them. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that because then they can say it's a motive. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for these women to have some sort of deadline. Oh, I'm going to leave my wife by, August 1st, or what was this, July 30. So yeah, August 1st, like by August, I'm going to leave my wife and we can be together. And that's what they're looking for. They need that to be able to prove a motive that he wanted her dead. Police confident there are people out there with vital information. Basically, I think they're saying we know something, but we need the person to come forward and tell us more about it, more context. They're saying Detective Superintendent said police had visited the property a year before Frances died. The man who found the victim knew her and has been helping police since her death, according to them. They said the investigation is ongoing, it's active. He said police would like to speak to anyone with information. Yep. Police appeal. They say she definitely was murdered. At this stage, forensic testing and also analysis of how Frances came to be located at the bottom of the retaining wall remains subject to investigation. Basically, we're not going to tell you because it's part of our case and we don't want to pollute our evidence. They said a man who located Frances has been spoken to by police and has also assisted police, which is her husband. Yeah, this is very interesting. Who's commenting on my YouTube? Hey, Melissa McCurdy, how are you? Are you out there listening, my friend Melissa? I hope you are. She was on the last video. I hope she's here. Melissa, if you're out there, give us a sign. Send us a sign that you're alive. What did he look like? I haven't seen a photo of him. There's the mower. Apparently, this is the mower that she was killed with. A Husqvarna ride-on lawnmower. Okay, let's have a look. Robert Crawford. She was a very pretty woman, you know, for her age. She was very pretty. Robert Crawford. Let's look up his wife's name. Maybe he'll pop up if you put Frances with it. Oh, Robert Crawford Toowoomba. Oh, I have a photo of him. Oh, yeah, he looks like an asshole. Here you go. There's his lovely wife, and this looks like Air Force. He was Air Force. Did we hear that before? That he was a military member? This is Australian Air Force patch. You see here the little circle at the bottom? This is the Australian Air Force symbol. It's the kangaroo in the white circle with the blue edge. That's the Australian Air Force. I'll show you. That's not how you do that, ping. There we go. See? That's the Australian Air Force logo. So that's what it looks like on the patch for him. See, in that corner down here, you got like a Air Force symbol. It says Australian Air Force. This is an RAFF symbol. I don't know what it means because I'm not a military member, but I know that's definitely a badge for them. Very interesting. Very interesting. And there's the mower being taken away from the crime scene. And there's his wife. Look, I don't know what to tell you. Except for talk to your wife. If she ain't giving you enough, talk to the woman who's not giving you enough. Ask her why she's not. That's what you do in a relationship. You don't go searching for other women around the world. You talk to the woman that you made a commitment to and ask her, why aren't we doing this activity? And then you'll get an answer, and then you'll find out. And then if you don't like the answer and you don't think it's repairable, that's why we have this cool thing called divorce. Then you can go smash as many other women as you want because you will be separated and you won't have a commitment to another woman. That's sort of how life works. It's very strange that we keep reading these stories. She looks like a lovely lady, and it's very sad that she died such a horrible, horrific death. Yeah. She seems like a nice middle-aged lady. Let's see. It's interesting, though. I don't know if they've... Hold on. Let me look at something here. Hold on. How do we get back to that? Let me put this in a new tab. Open image in a tab. I hope that is rust. Do you see this here and here and here? I hope that's rust, but it's very reddish colored. I hope that is actual rust and not blood. But you can see there's like a red staining here. That looks more like rust, but this is quite red, quite bright. I hope it's not. And then there's a fluid. Maybe they washed it, but there's a fluid coming out the rear of it. Interesting. And it looks like it's missing a part of it right here too. I don't know if police have taken it for forensics, but it's missing a part of the mower. That should be here. Angela says, I got a divorce, but sometimes I think I should have picked murder. Pink says, Reeby says it seems that it's easier to unalive your partner. Why do this talking business? I think it's a lot easier to talk and then just be like, I'm out. Guys, hold on. Sorry about that. I had to close the window because the wind's going a bit mental. All right. I think that's about it for tonight, guys. I think we're almost done. Let me just check one thing. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap up for this Thursday night. Yeah, I think that's about it. About it for tonight. I don't have too many other stories. Or not ones that I really want to do anyway. Okay, we can do this last one if I can find it. Let's see. Here we go to Where TV. If this will go away. Go away. There we go. Deputies, man mistakenly killed his 44-year-old acquaintance in Escambia County. Here's a photo of him. He looks very doped up, and he's wearing the turtle vest. It says here, a 44-year-old man was fatally shot in Escambia County Tuesday night, according to the sheriff's office. The shooting happened at the North Loop Road near Blue Angel Parkway around 10:15 p.m. David Kuka, 41, was arrested and charged with negligent manslaughter. He's being held in Escambia County Jail without bond. According to the sheriff's office, the 44-year-old man and the defendant, who were acquaintances, felt they were being threatened by an outside party. They were standing watch from the threat outside of his sister's residence. Deputies say at one point he got into the backseat of a vehicle and fell asleep. After realizing that Kuka had fallen asleep, the 44-year-old man approached the car unarmed and with the use of a walker. The sheriff's office says he then awakened, saw a figure standing outside the window of the car. At this time, he fired one shot through the car window, killing his 44-year-old acquaintance. They say Kuka is being held at the county jail without bond. This action is deemed by the sheriff's office to be grossly negligent, and he is being charged accordingly. What? That is such a weird thing to do. Why would you? I want to know more about the threat that was apparently outside the home. Tell us more about that. He's been charged with negligent manslaughter. That's what they're saying. Negligent manslaughter. I'm just trying to see if we can get a. There's someone in the comments here saying, seems like an accident. Why didn't they let him go? Because just because you have a firearm doesn't mean you can just go around shooting people. That's the whole negligent bit. You still have a responsibility when you hold that firearm. Yeah, this person goes, you can't just shoot people. This person here, Greg Leftwich, says, seems like an accident. So what is the negligence for manslaughter? They must have left something out. Nobody. The negligence is that he shot someone after awaking in a vehicle for no reason when there was no threat. That's what happened. Let me see if I can find anything else about David Cooker. Not a lot of things doing it, but here we go.
It may be a case of mistaken identity. One man is in custody and his friend is dead. WKRG News 5's Alexa Daly is talking with the victim's girlfriend, who happens to also be the suspect's sister, and she says she heard that fatal shot.
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office responded to North Loop Road Tuesday night. When they arrived, they found a 44-year-old man dead from a gunshot wound. The investigation revealed the suspect, 44-year-old David Cooker, and the victim knew each other. Deputies say the two men were outside of Cooker's sister's home. Cooker told deputies they felt threatened by someone and were standing watch. That's when deputies say Cooker got into the backseat of a vehicle and fell asleep.
Sometime during the night, the victim gets up and realizes that he hasn't heard from his acquaintance in a while. He uses a walker to walk, so he took his walker, went over to the car, and from what we had gathered, as he got to the window, the rear seat of the car, there was a single shot. There was a shot through the window, shooting and killing the victim.
And I heard a gunshot. My little brother was like, call 911. And I said, where's Vincent? His car was parked there. I seen Vincent's walker. And that's whenever he was like, I shot Vincent, take care of my kids. I'm going to jail. And Sonia, I'm sorry.
The suspect's sister says Cooker and the victim, her boyfriend, were close.
Them two were like beans and rice. You can't separate them.
David Cooker is now charged with manslaughter.
He had the weapon with him. He didn't use any kind of due care, and it was not reasonable to believe that his life was in danger at that point.
The sheriff's office says they're looking into the alleged threat. Cooker remains in the Escambia County Jail. In Escambia County, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5.
There we go. A bit more of an explanation from people who were there. Hey, Rory. Rory's here. Hey, girl. What's wrong? Let's see. Ruby says, have you covered the sheriff that shot the judge? Yes, we have. He's not saying why. I know he's not saying why, but I think we've figured out that it had something to do with his daughter. That his daughter's number was found in the judge's phone, and that he had tried to ring the daughter through the judge's phone, and then he used his own phone to try and ring his daughter as well, and then he killed the sheriff. So something to do with the daughter. What to do with the daughter? Not quite sure. Reeve says, is there a problem with the thumbnails? No, it's just the last couple of days we've done more in-depth topics into like certain people, and the ones that we have just don't work for those topics. So I had to use other photos for now, and I was too before the show to be able to just get into Canva and make something. So I just threw up a photo of the person that we're talking about. But normally I just use the other ones. But they've been like yesterday was Jessica Barnes. Today we did the missing woman that was located. So yeah, just more specific than just our general, multi-story shows that we do. Rory, hey, stop clawing. I think that's it. Yeah, I get what's going on, but the 1000 block of North Loop. What was the threat? I want to know more about this. The two were reportedly standing watch from the threat outside Cooker's sister's house. What threat? The victim and Kuka felt like another person was threatening them. Who? Shadow people? Have you been smoking a lot of meth? Have you been making a lot of meth? Did you see the shadow people? Are they coming to get you? It's okay. They don't hurt you. They're just shadows. They can't hurt you. They might look freaky, but they can't get you. You know, once you get some sleep, they'll go away. It says here, yeah, that they had a weapon with him. He didn't use any kind of due care, so that's why he's getting done with manslaughter. Yeah, there you go. Mr. I'm Afraid of Shadows shoots his friend. That's very interesting. I didn't know that bit of information. That the daughter didn't answer the call from him, but did answer the call from the judge. That is very suspicious. How old is the girl? Didn't we find out she's like 17 or 15 or something like that? If he has been, if they end up finding out that the judge had been diddling his daughter, I think he should get a parade. Get a parade. You know, have like a national parade for his retirement. She's 17. What's the age of consent in? Well, it depends. It doesn't matter if she's 17. If this has been going on since she's like 9, then you have a crime. If this has been going on since she turned 16, well, it's a little bad. They're supposed to be friends, and you're screwing his daughter. That's pretty messed up, and you're a freak and stuff. But you know, she's a minor. No, she's not. No. What's the age of consent? Hold on. Kentucky, yeah. Yeah. Under Kentucky law, a person must be 16 years old to consent to a sexual act. However, it is critical to understand that this does not mean that anyone aged 16 or older can consent to sexual activity with any person. Oh, okay. She's still considered a minor in Kentucky. In here, you could screw a 16-year-old, you'd be fine. As long as she consented. You would not get charged with anything. It's interesting that you have to be over it. Wait, how does that work then? Oh, it's a law design. It's a Romeo law. It's a Romeo Juliet law. It's to protect. See, I'm tired. It's to protect. It's to protect underage kids who start relationships. It's not to protect older people who have relationships with younger people. Okay, but yeah, it's a Romeo. They call these Romeo Juliet laws. Under Kentucky law, yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if they would actively charge on it, though. I wonder if they would actually charge on it. In effect, this means that a 16-year-old can consent to sexual activity, but only if the person is what? So in effect, this means that a 16-year-old can consent to sexual activity, but only if the person is 26 years or younger. Under Kentucky's new marriage laws, a 17-year-old could consent to sex with a person up to 27 years of age, but would be prohibited from marrying anyone older than 21. What? That is some weird laws. I get why they're there, but here, in July of 2018, Kentucky revised their statute 510.020 and into effect under KRS 510.20. I think it's like, paragraph 3. 16 and 17-year-olds cannot engage in sexual acts with anyone who is more than 10 years older than they are. There is an exception to this law for persons who are legally married to each other. But didn't they just say you can't be legally married to anyone that's more than 21? How does that work? There is an exception, i.e. a person can consent to sexual activity with their spouse, even if he or she is more than 10 years older than they are. However, Kentucky law regarding marriage of minors also changed. Yeah, also changed in 2018. So that doesn't make any sense unless you went to a different county or a different state and you married there and then you moved to Kentucky and then they can't prosecute you. But if you lived and grew up in Kentucky, then there's nothing you can really do. Look, she's 17. In Australia, she'd be treated almost like an adult, and she would be treated able to take consent of a sexual act. So what? But I think it's pretty creepy. But I just mean under the law. So what would it get if you violate the age of consent laws in Kentucky? You may be charged with one of the following offenses: R-word in the first degree, R-word in the second degree, third degree, sexual abuse in the first degree. No, that's a child. So you can only do that one if you're a child under the age of 12, or anyone age 21 or older has sexual contact with anyone under the age of 16 in the first situation. It is a C felony punished by 5 to 10 years in jail. In the second situation, it's a D class felony punished by 1 to 5 years in jail. Sexual abuse in the second degree: when a person between the ages of 18 and 21 has sexual contact with someone under 16, this may be charged. It is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail. Okay, so none of these have any of the other ones in it. That's interesting. Okay, sodomy in the third degree. Wow, damn it, we don't know if we can say that word. Third degree: age 21 or older engages in oral or the other one with a person under the age of 16. I'm looking at you, Stephen Stearns. It is a D class felony punishable by up to 1 to 5 years in jail. Or if you're Stephen Stearns, you could be charged with like 400 offenses of this, apparently. Given the steep penalties for sexual offenses in Kentucky, it is critical to know the law regarding age of consent. If you've been charged with a crime, contact a Lexington County sex offense lawyer. Is there such a thing? A sex offense lawyer? Is there so many people doing this that they're like, we should make a business, a business of lawyers who only deal with sex crimes? So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I could see it more like if she was groomed for like, since she was 12 or something like that, and that's where the relationship started. Then you have a historical backtrack on the relationship and the crime, and it dates back before the age of 16. Like, I can see that. The other one is confusing because I don't understand. Oh, not that. Come on. Let me check this one up. All right, fine. We do this last bit. I want to watch it then. Yeah, I like how he retired. I'm just going to put out an announcement today that I'm going to retire. Good work, buddy. Good work. I think they would have made you retire. Don't think you can just be like, I'm going to take the high road and retire. All right. Yeah.
Video tonight coming into us of the moment that a Kentucky judge was gunned down in his chambers, allegedly by the local sheriff. We're going to show you.
Nah, that's okay. We've already seen that video. I've played it here. I've got it here.
Right
now. We got it here. There you go. See, he fires. You can tell he's really mad because like he doesn't just fire once at him. He comes back again, shoots again, and then he goes to leave. And he's like, you know what? I'll shoot him again. He ends up shooting him at least on 3 separate occasions when he had 3 times to walk away and leave the door, and the guy might have lived, but decided he really wanted to kill him. Wasn't he like 50, the guy? Yeah, he was old. What if you're born on a leap year? That means you're like 4. That means you're like 4, Evil Alaska. You can't marry any old dudes? Oh, that leaves me out of it then. His minor daughter, she's sort of a minor. I mean, I know she's under 18. It's just weird with the consent laws because, like, in Australia, you just wouldn't get done with anything, I don't think. Otherwise, we'd have so many people getting done for sleeping with underage, like, people who are, like, over the age of consent. Hold on, let me have a look at something. Oh, come on, I will... Stop doing that. Hey, I'm going to glue you with Gorilla Glue and make you stay. Fine. All right. Let's go to Vic Paul, who never gave us an update, even though they said they were going to. They said they were going to do a press conference, and I don't see it. Let's have a look. I just want to have a quick look at a different link. Vic Paul. Let me double check that they didn't do a press conference while we were. No, I don't know what happened to the press conference from today, but it disappeared. All right, let's see what it's like down here. Let's see how much trouble Ping would have got into when he was a young man. It says here there must be consent every single time you engage in sexual activity. Okay, that's true. They say you can change your mind at any time. I often do, like 3 days later. And consent cannot be assumed. Ah, that's a shame. Otherwise, it may be considered an offense. I'm often offended. In Victoria, the age of consent is 16 years old. Okay. A child cannot give consent. Well, we already know that. And any sexual activity is automatically considered abuse. That is true. What consent looks like. Consent is an agreement between participants to take part in sexual activity. That's why I always draw up contracts. I bring them everywhere I go. Bring a pack of condoms and a set of contracts. You have to sign in 2 different places and then take a photo with clothing. Consent requires ongoing communication. It requires everyone involved to agree to engage in that activity. Yes, we stop the clock every 5 minutes and then we re-sign the contract. It says if consent has not been given, this can be very serious and may be considered a criminal offense. Yes, that does tend to happen. Who cannot give consent? Underage people under 16 years of age, intoxicated or incapacitated by drugs or alcohol. Well, that's me all the time. Asleep or unconscious. Again, that's me. Being forced to have fear or being forced to or have a fear of force or harm, including economic, financial, reputational, psychological harms to family, cultural, community relationships, harm to the person's employment, and sexual harassment. Well, that's sort of like financial abuse and that type of thing. Unable to understand the sexual nature of what is happening. That happens to me a lot. I'm like, why is there a snake here? Like, I just don't understand what is happening. And they say, shown false or misleading representations that they will be paid for commercial sexual services. I often think I'm the one who has to pay them, but sometimes they pay me. Being coerced or intimidated, well, that is a crime. Pressure due to a relationship of authority or trust, like a cop. They said held against their will, yes. Mistaken about the identity of the other person. What, like some guy told you he was Justin Bieber? And you're like, oh my God, Justin Bieber, here, get in my pants. And then he's like, no, I didn't say that. I said my name is Mustin Reba. And you're like, oh my God, he lied to me. Told a condom will be used, then it is removed or tampered with, or the person who was to use the condom does not use it. Why? How many people you have to use a condom in a sexual act? Is it multiple people? Is it just one person? How many people? What do you mean there has to be other people? Yeah, stealthing. That's a new one that's been added. Consenting initially to the act and later withdrawing consent to the act taking place or continuing. Is that a crime? Oh, who cannot give us a consent? Well, yes, if you withdraw your consent, you're not giving consent. Seems sort of like a given here. It says in some cases, some older Victorians or people living with a disability may also not be able to consent. When I visit these retirement homes, I often wonder how much consent am I really getting? And they say consent and sharing intimate images and content. Always think carefully before sharing intimate or explicit images of yourself. Even if you are in a relationship with the person you are sending the images to, remember that digital images can be used against you. Like this one time I went to McDonald's and I tried to get 2 Big Macs for the price of one. And the guy was like, I have photos of you and I'm going to use them against you. so you cannot have two for the price of one. It was very embarrassing. They're saying sharing images should occur between people who consent and are both over the age of 18 years of age. Yes, I'm sure that is definitely what happens. Ask a high school student. Remember that once you send digital images or videos, they are no longer private. Once sent, you are no longer in control of what happens to them. Yeah, sort of like doves. You let them go and they just fly away. They say sharing permissions. If you share an intimate video or image of yourself with someone, it doesn't give them permission to share it with anyone or to show it to other people. That's why you sign contracts. Image-based sexual offending. Oh man, is that what you tell people that they're not sexual based on their image? Oh no, it's something else. Image-based sexual offending involves someone producing, sharing, or threatening to share an intimate photo or video of a person without their knowledge or consent. It's sort of like AI. And they said in Victoria, the age of consent is 16 years of age. New laws came into effect on the 30th of July 2023 that support an affirmative consent model. Does it mean you just have to keep saying yes all the time? These new laws mean that a person must say or do something to check if they have consent for a sexual act. I'm going to invent flags. So each person will hold a flag and you get two color flags. One is red and one is green. And every few minutes you have to put up your flag and show what color it is. This is how sex will be done in the future. In Victoria, the law says all parties must freely agree to the sexual acts for there to be consent. Yes, that's why I often give a list. I'm like, this is what's going to happen over the next 3.5 minutes. How police can help. If you're unsure about consent and want to learn more, you can contact you. That's totally what I always do. I'm like, who can I speak to about sex? You know what? I'm going to go down to my local police station. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them about consent. How to report a sexual offense. Report a recent or historical past sexual offense to VicPol on our Report a Sexual Offense page. There you go. There's our laws in Australia. Little different to the ones in Kentucky. No way, not another one. Bye, Reevy. See you later. I'm going now. I'm going now. We're just checking on the consent thing for the judge. Yeah, he definitely wanted to make sure he died, Athena. 100%. He wasn't going to let him walk away. All right. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's like 3:30. Okay. Did I do the Garth? Who's Garth Briox? Is that like a German version of Garth Brooks? Oh, really? I didn't see that. Let's have a look. All right, the last one, then we got to go. It says US singer 1 hour ago responds to allegations. Apparently 1 hour ago. US country singer Garth Brooks responds to R Word and SA lawsuit. There, what does he say? They say he released a statement in response to a lawsuit from a woman who claims he R-worded her in a Los Angeles hotel in 2019. The woman, known by a pseudonym of Jane Roe, that's a weird one they used. Wouldn't they just call her Jane Doe? Okay. Filed the lawsuit in the Los Angeles Superior Court. It alleges that Brooks, who is the second best-selling artist of all time in the US, took advantage of her financial situation by offering her more frequent work and then engaging in a pattern of sexual harassment and assault. Sent to US publications US Weekly and Billboard, Brooks' statement accuses the complaint of attempting to extort him. For the last 2 months, I have been hassled to no end with threats, lies, and tragic tales of what my future would be if I did not write a check for many millions of dollars. It's like it has been like having a loaded gun waved in my face. I want to play music tonight, he added. I want to continue our good deeds going forward. It breaks my heart. These wonderful things are now in question. I trust the system. I do not fear the truth, and I am not the man they have painted me to be. Sounds like a country song. Miss Rowe is represented by lawyer Douglas Wigdor, who also represented women who accused Harvey Weinstein of misconduct. In the legal complaint, the woman says she worked for Brooks' wife, country singer Trisha Yearwood, since 1999 and started working for Brooks in 2017. She claimed an assault occurred when she traveled to Los Angeles with Brooks, who was performing at the Grammy Awards in October 2019. The singer usually traveled with a group, but on this occasion, he and Miss Rowe were alone on his private jet. The lawsuit said she was in disbelief when she realized that Brooks had booked a hotel suite with only one bedroom and she did not have a separate room. Shortly after they arrived, she alleged he appeared naked in the doorway to the bedroom and R-worded her. The suit says that he then proceeded as though nothing had happened and expected her to do his hair and makeup immediately after. The suit also alleges in graphic detail an incident where she was at the Brooks home earlier this year. It said he appeared naked in front of her, grabbed her hand, and put them on his genitals. The woman's suit also says Brooks exposed himself to her many other times and talked about sexual fantasies with her and sent her explicit text messages. She said she was forced to keep working for him because of financial hardship, which he knew about and took advantage of. You know, if this does end up having any grain of truth to it, pay the people who make you look good. Pay them decent money. Like the fact that she's flying around on private jets and you're like, here's $1.35 for doing my hair tonight. Like, you earn millions of dollars from your records. Pay the people who make you look good. It says here, the complainant filed today demonstrates that sexual predators exist not only in corporate America, Hollywood, and in the rap and rock and roll industries, but also in the world of country music. The lawsuit said that Brooks filed his own preemptive lawsuit in federal court in Mississippi last month, in which both him and the woman are anonymous. In the court filings in that case, the plaintiff, going by John Doe, says the allegations are wholly untrue, and he first learned of them in July when she threatened to publicly sue him unless he gave her millions of dollars. He asked the judge to stop the woman from intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation, and false light invasion of privacy. I've never heard it worded like that. Is that a real thing? False light invasion? Oh, it is a real thing. Okay. In Thursday's statement, Brooks said, we filed suit against this person nearly a month ago to speak out against extortion and defamation of character. We filed it anonymously for the sake of families on both sides. Hush money, no matter how much or how little, is still hush money in my mind. That means I am admitting to behavior I am incapable of, ugly acts no human should ever do to another. We are confident that the Brooks will be held accountable for his actions, and his efforts to silence our client through the filing of a preemptive complaint in Mississippi was nothing other than an act of desperation and attempted intimidation, according to the Doe's legal firm. We encouraged others who have been victimized to contact us, as no survivor should suffer in silence and without a paycheck, apparently. We'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. I don't know very much about Garth Brooks, and I don't know whether he's a good guy, a bad guy, or I don't know. I know so little about him. Evil Alaska says, is it legal to marry close relatives in Australia? I don't know. I think, no, we have incest laws here. You can't be marrying your sister and you can't be having sex with her. So, yes, but it is, no, it's illegal to do that here. I don't think you can do that. Hey, this ain't Arkansas. Sorry, that's a very bad joke, Ping. Don't say that about our lovely Arkansas people. They're very nice. That's right. Jojo says flags up. That's right. All right. I think that's it for the night. Interesting. Hey, I love you all very much, and I hope you find this show at least a little bit entertaining, even 1%. That would be good. We'll be back tomorrow night. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday for you, which means it'll probably be a late show tomorrow night, midnight show only, and then Saturday, Saturday will be a midnight show only, and then Sunday's 10:30, and then we're back to our normal 2 shows a night. So until then, I know I won't see you until very late tomorrow night. The only way very interesting, Jojo. The only way I'll be on any earlier is if for some reason Trish doesn't end up doing a 10:30 show. Gambler says many years ago he ran around on his first wife. I think it was his first. Yeah, Jojo says he was touring with Trisha while married to his first wife. So he's a bit of a dog. So maybe the allegations are true. Who knows? Hey, Catatonic, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, we're getting out of here for the night. All right, remember, people, take your contracts and your flags with you everywhere you go. You never know when you'll have to give consent many times in only the space of a few minutes. You never know. Could be in a lift, in a post office, you're in a library. You'll never know. Could be in a shopping center. It could be while you're getting takeaway. Who knows? Check. Yes, make sure you take your flags. Hold on. I'm going to murder this thing. I'm going to Gorilla Glue it so it stops falling. Let me check one thing and then we'll get out of here. It's I got so much to do before this evening. I got to eat something. I haven't eaten anything yet. Just one from earlier. Hey, from my friend LMS, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to send in a Ko-Fi payment. I very much appreciate it. And it goes to helping the channel, helps getting you more and more shows and content each week. So I very much appreciate it. And that's it. That's it. We're through the hard bit of the week. That's it. We've done the majority of the crazy double shows for the week. And next week, I get to go back by 1 hour. I'm very happy. Next week, my shows won't be at 11 a.m. They'll be at midday for me. And then a month after that, they'll be at 1 p.m. So I will be a much more alert person on the early show. I'll be a lot more awake rather than being 11 a.m. So I'll see you all then. Have a great Friday, all of you. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, have a great Friday evening. I hope it's a good day for you. Oh my God. My cat is here. There's a box here and she's on it. Rory. What are you doing? I'm going to have to go get her. Hey, I love you all. Good time to end the show. Good night, everyone. See you later. Thanks to Moonlight View for always being a good moderator. Bye. Bye-bye.